This is a public announcement. There is nothing wrong with your broadcast. Please allow us to redirect your audio. You are about to tune into the middle class dropouts. Enjoy.
Welcome back, guys, to the middle class dropouts after 2 weeks.
Welcome, Rigo. How are you feeling, my brother? How are you feeling with your
surgery? I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Went to get my stitches out today. Quick update. Had a knee surgery 2 weeks ago. They went in there. They fixed my meniscus, my PCL a little bit. Surgery was crazy, bro. First time going under. You ever had a surgery before?
To be honest, I haven't. Thank God I haven't, but no.
It was crazy, bro. Like, I was fucking freaking out. 1,000 thoughts going through my head. Or what if I don't wake up and, all these procedural, effects that could happen. But yeah, it was cool. I went into the operating room and the anesthesiologist was like, "What do you like to drink?" And I'm like, "Well, anything with lime." And he's like, "Oh, you want a shot of tequila?" And then he injected my IV with something. What? And I was like, my heart started racing. And then they hooked me up to the monitors, and then they're all like, "Well, you nervous much?" And like, I look at the monitor, bro, my heart rate is going, and boom, that's it. I don't remember shit no more. Then you just wake up and your legs are like, what the fuck? But yeah, it was crazy experience.
How long did you go under for?
I think it was an hour. Sure. It was an hour. He was in there. They just made two little slits, and then they put the camera in there, the little hooks. But yeah, it was only an hour, and then my girl picked me up, I think, an hour after that. But it's such a blur, bro. I was so freaked out, and it's like, dude, these guys are professionals, Obviously, I think the effects they tell you, I think, have happened to some certain people, like especially when you don't know if you're allergic to anesthesia or something like that, and then later on, it turns out that the person died because of it, but you don't know, unless you do it. So, but it's good, bro. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be here talking about what's going on in the world. What's up with you, Vinny? How you been?
Well, sorry, but when you went under, did you see the light? Did you see some aliens? Did you see an angel? Were you in the state of mind of like, oh my gosh, I'm not coming back? Like, or did you just not remember nothing and you just woke up and like, oh shit, I just remember the last thing he said and then I'm awake? Like, what was it?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was more, they were kind of laughing because my heart rate was like racing. Like, dude, I can feel my heart pumping through my chest because I was nervous at that point. At that point, they're like, all right, stretch out your arms. And like, I felt like an animal, bro. When they sedate him to, and like, I was like freaking out and I'm like kind of like laughing nervously, and then that was it, bro. Boom, I was out. And then it just feels like when you wake up from when you go to sleep, right? I woke up and I was just like seeing the nurses walk up and down. And I'm like, damn, that was it. It's over. Like, damn. But yeah, I don't remember nothing else, bro. Wow. Like, I don't even remember if I got dressed. I was talking to my girl about that. I'm like, I don't remember if I got dressed or they dressed me. And she's like, wow, I doubt they dressed you. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
That's interesting.
It was a crazy experience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you're good. I'm glad you're healthy. It sounds like you're good too. And it's just, I guess your therapy next, right? Just get your knee back in order.
Get my knee back and going.
Nice. Well, Rigo, I'm glad you're happy and I'm glad you're doing good and well and healthy. So, dropouts. I do want to talk about a little something that we spoke about on the last podcast, but because we had some sound technical difficulties and it sounded very low.
Thank you for the feedback too. Thank you guys for the feedback. It was definitely the feedback is what's going to help us bring the better content that we can produce. Because you can have all the state of the art stuff, but if you don't produce it right, bring it out, then you're not going to get that. So, but we appreciate the feedback. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. And we need that feedback in order to continue to grow with our channel and whatnot. But anyways, so what I really want to talk about is uranium, because we like to talk about cryptos. You and I, the majority of our conversations are about crypto, Cardano, Bitcoin, Litecoin, where the market is going, the institutions that are investing inside Bitcoin and what that does. And there's other safe. So if you have a portfolio, right, you have a pie chart, you do want to have some cryptos, you do want to have some, stocks, equities, depending on what, sector you're in, financial stocks, whatever. I don't know about bonds. People are saying that bonds now are at well, they're still low, but the yields have been going up. So prices of bonds have been falling with the higher rate of return. So one thing I'm really big into right now is commodities, specifically uranium, because if you look at what happened in Texas, right, there was the U.S. deep freeze prompts natural gas rally and uranium prices to melt up. And what this means is that the U.S. is going to start using their domestic commodities to power up our own infrastructure, right? So we have that electricity. And yeah, of course, people give a bad stigma to uranium because of the Chernobyl or what happened in Japan with the tsunami and that, hit the reactors and whatnot, and all the contamination that is left because radiant chemical reactions and whatnot. But I still think that with today's technology improving and with the amount of people invested in the space, to not have a Chernobyl malfunction, I think uranium is going to come back in a much stronger way under Biden's administration, because he's already speaking about uranium. Well, not speaking, but definitely throwing them a bone into what I think is the next bull market, which is uranium. So where was it? Let me see. I think I highlighted it. Or maybe not. Let me see. Sorry, there's a little bit of dead.
Wasn't it the one where he says he's planning to go domestic?
Yeah. Did I pass it? I think I passed it.
Biden president leverage carbon pollution.
So yeah. So right here it says Biden's energy platform mentions advanced nuclear as part of critical clean energy technologies and lists reclaiming domestic uranium mining as a goal. So to me, that tells me that, okay, uranium prices are going to go higher because a lot of these big producers of uranium, mining companies, they can't really sell uranium at current prices. Although some of them are still around, a lot of these mines are shut down. And so I think, let me see, I think I have the uranium price here. Oh, probably don't. But the uranium future prices are doing pretty well, which I can't find. But anyways, the United States gets uranium from these many different countries, right? So believe it or not, Russia, 15% of uranium is from Russia. Maybe that has changed. Australia, 18%. Kazakhstan, 18%. Canada, 21%. Uzbekistan, 9%. Namibia, 5%. Niger, 2%. And U.S. with other 12 countries combined, 12%. So we could say that the U.S., consumes 1% of their own domestic uranium. Biden says that he wants to buy more of domestic, right? Reclaim. So we'll see how much percentage points that pops up. But what's interesting to me is the 5% of Namibia, because I have a stock that I'm invested in called Folsfi's Metal Corp. And if you were to click on Folsfi's Metal Corp and go to their website, right, they have operations in where? Namibia, Africa. Premier project, uranium project. Namibia's premier uranium project. So Folsfi is up here. If you see this high up here, the blue letters, that's the ticker that you can find on the U.S. Stock Exchange. And so the U.S. gets 5% from that part of Africa, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's a company that I own. And so to me personally, I think this is a buying opportunity for uranium, because I do believe that in the coming years, to 3 to 4 years, the U.S. will for sure still buy uranium outside of the United States.
Before they shift to domestic and they have their own.
Yes. I do think that they will buy domestic first, maybe, right? Because that's what Biden's highlighting. But if they don't, for sure, they're going to be going to where they could get those sources. And Namibia is super cheap. It's at 41 cents, which is fairly cheap. Now, there's a lot of stuff that you could go into with this company too, and find out that.
That's Forest Metal Corp, right?
Yeah. Oh. And so they, like I said, this Forest Metals Corp has operations in Namibia's premier uranium project, which is right here as well, Folsfi, and the U.S. gets 5% of uranium from there. So, yeah. So if you look at the price of uranium, see if I can pull this up. But
and to piggyback off even, I think what happened in Texas just showed what unprepared a lot of the utility companies are, right? Because the way the United States is set up, they're considered they're on a power grid, right? So say a certain state loses power, they have the other surrounding states that can then backfeed them power. So that, right? But what Texas did, they decided they didn't want to be on the U.S. grid. They have their own grid, right? So when their power plants took a shit, it wasn't like they can call up Oklahoma, hey, shoot us some power. No, they decided they didn't want to do that, right? And because this happened, in 2010? Remember when that happened back then? They made it so, hey, you guys have to update your infrastructure, but they didn't make it mandatory.
Right.
So a lot of these power plants, they didn't do that. So now when these freezing temperatures came back, they weren't prepared for them again, right?
Right.
So then what does that show you? I mean, they have to upgrade these infrastructures, whether they do them or not. It's something, but around, I think, across the U.S., they're only made for 50 years, bro.
Right.
Right. So then what happens if they all start getting upgraded, and then they all start coming in with these nuclear reactors that run off of uranium? Then you see these prices start spike up, right? Then you see where they start getting their money from. I mean, their uranium from, and when you can start making money from it. So it's a little bit of investing, thinking outside the box, grabbing a commodity like you said, a precious metal, and seeing, hey, what can possibly drive it? Shit, Texas just fucking had a winter storm, bro. I mean, obviously the infrastructure wasn't set for it. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and rebuild. Remember that fly?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, I couldn't believe that freaking fly. But you see what I'm saying? Yes. Like, so then what happens if something like that happens in another part of the United States, and these nuclear power plants aren't infrastructurally ready for those things, right? So then somebody has to come in, some legislation, and say, hey, we got to upgrade these things. Because I mean, they were freezing the natural gas, bro. That wasn't ready for it either. So that freezing wasn't providing heaters. Then the water pipes were freezing, so then people didn't have water, right? So it's like a domino effect, bro. And then all of this, it's stuff that I think whether you believe in global warming or not, I think it'll be beneficial if these people or these companies do start to invest in upgrading their facilities. So another disaster like that, if it does hit, they'll be more prepared, you know? That's just my thought.
That makes sense. And, you know, infrastructure is a huge part of America that we are going to get into because I forget where it was. I have to pull it up. But I know that our infrastructure grade is like at D or a D plus, you know? We're shitty when it comes to our infrastructure. Of course, new projects are coming, state of the art, right? But our old infrastructure stuff that's been here since the 80s or 60s, they're crumbling, and you know, they're not up to date with technology and whatnot. So I do believe that the infrastructure bill after this stimulus that the Senate just passed is going to definitely play a huge role in commodities, specifically copper, iron. I do believe uranium would be one of those, because we can't be how we were in March of last year, where our own government couldn't even supply us with masks, right? Yeah. Not that we want our government to be in charge of everything. I believe that's up to the free market. But if we're passing policies that strip out our manufacturing in California and United States in general, then we're vulnerable, and we're depending on other countries, and that makes us, less efficient as a country. So now I do see a paradigm shift, because so many people are still unemployed, and so many people are going to start facing what I think is inflation that's coming, which will boost up your commodities, but could potentially tank our currency, the U.S. dollar, the Dixie index, which right now has been going up pretty strong. I'm not going to lie. The Dixie has been going up dramatically, which is, look, the rising yields in the 10-year bond has also been going up pretty fast. Now, people are saying, is this a reflation or inflation play? Is the economy, now that it's opening up, are interest rates going up because the economy is reinflating? Like with production and actual work, I think it's the opposite. I think we're not. I think a lot of people are going to struggle to get back into the workforce. and be productive, a productive workforce, right? Yeah, we could have services all we want and have Uber Eats and, you know, the service industry grow, but that's only going to get us so far. So without real manufacturing and without us producing products and goods, we're going to be seeing more inflation than reflation. And with the 10-year yield going up and the dollar spiking at the same time, that doesn't show, you know, it's not good. I'll tell you that much. It's one or the other, and something will break. Believe me.
Piggyback off of that, Vin. I mean, I'm all for people getting paid more money. You know, I'm all for it.
Right.
But when I see the $15 minimum payment, you know, minimum wage payment, we look at it as in, what about the small businesses that can't afford to pay somebody that much? You know, then those businesses are gonna tank. Right. Because they're not gonna be able to. If they have 10 employees at $10 an hour. Now those 10 employees at 15, I mean, believe it or not, that's going to be, and like I said, I'm all for people making more money, but I think it should be more, I don't know, I wouldn't even know how to start to accommodate for something like a transition like that. I just think they have to do, I think and some of the senators do realize, like, hey, if you do approve this, dude, there's going to be some, you know, small businesses that they've already, if they haven't been taken out by the big wave of COVID, this is going to fucking drown them, you know? So, yeah, I just wanted to piggyback off of that for a little bit.
Yeah, and if you're a small business owner or if you want to be a small business owner, well, first of all, minimum wage, I think it should be up to the states to decide that. I don't think it's the federal government's job to, you know, figure out what minimum wage should be, because there is an argument that, of course, if you go to a red state, I don't know what would be a red, Florida, right? And you would tell Floridians, Texas, hey, you're going to have to start paying everybody not $7.25 but $15. A lot of these small business owners that survive off $7.25 are going to go bankrupt, because some people might say, oh, well, just raise your prices, you know, high prices fix high prices. Yeah, that sounds very simple and easy and true, but it's not really that simple and easy and true, right? So there's a lot that goes into it. I think it should be up to the states. But anyways, regardless, at this point in time, if we continue with stimulus, if we continue with bailouts, then our dollar will collapse and it will go very low in the Dixie, which is at 92.40. It's been climbing, which is nice that it's been climbing. I mean, I'm not against our currency climbing. I want to, you know, have a sustainable, strong currency so I could purchase more products. But the underlying issue is that our dollar is being used as a pawn now, and a lot of other countries are going to start realizing that, hey, the dollar's not worth much, so we're just going to start dumping dollars and go to Bitcoin or start using a different currency, maybe the Chinese yuan.
That becomes a global currency. Can you see that happening?
100%.
I could too.
I could see Bitcoin right now happening. Why wouldn't I see another sovereign country's currency happening? So I do believe that that we're in for a rude awakening when the chickens come home to roost, because all this money printing will have a long-lasting inflation effect unless the Federal Reserve decides to raise interest rates. But how high are they willing to raise them, and how fast are they willing to raise them?
So what you're saying, Vin, is damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Very true.
Right?
Very true.
So you don't raise the interest rates, but then you do, and then how high are you willing to raise them?
Yeah, you don't.
And then does that cause other collapses in other sorts of markets, right?
For sure.
So what do you think is the best outcome? If you're in power, what would you think the best outcome to do?
Oh man, I mean, for sure. I'm not no one near to answer this question, but I would personally love for the market to allow to dictate interest rates, not the Federal Reserve coming in and buying all these bonds and mortgage-backed securities and everything that goes along with bonds and whatnot, because they manipulate the free market. So we don't know price discovery for anything. The Dow Jones in 2009, I think, fell down to 6,000.
Wow.
I think it was 6,000 or 9,000. But you could say that was the high of the Dow Jones, because everything after that was money. It was a quantitative easing. And so,
can you elaborate on quantitative easing for those that don't know what that is? So
the founder and the guy who coined quantitative easing, his name is Professor Richard Warner. He's famous for the book Princes of the Yen, and also the
What was that? Prince of the Yen.
Princess, guys, I guess, of the Yen. Yeah, and he also has a video documentary called Princes of the Yen, which I highly recommend you watch. It's on YouTube. It's free. It talks about the Japanese depression, pretty much, and how the domestic economy was sacrificed for its stock market. And so real estate prices also went up and went down. But at one point, the real estate around...
So he's Japanese?
No, he's not. But I mean, I don't know what I think he's German, to be honest. But he did study in Japan and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
And, but he outlined that at one point, the garden around the imperial palace in Japan was at one point as valuable as the whole state of California.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, because of inflation. So this guy's super smart. He coined it quantitative easing, which pretty much comes down to banks buying. And I'm not I'm not a professor about this shit. I'm just a guy who.
Just, I mean, if I didn't know what it was, what would you tell me it is?
It's the banks,
in stupefied way.
The banks buying treasuries, so that interest rates don't go up, so that yields in the treasuries don't go up. So they're pretty much buying them. Some people will call that deflationary because it just sits on their balance sheet and they're not going to sell any because they're just going to hold it forever. Yeah. Some people call it inflationary because that means that the money that's being used now, it's also being used to purchase other goods and services with that money that the Fed is buying, right? Because where does that money go now? Now that they're technically buying something, whoever's holding the other end of that buying is making money. So that, and so it's a whole inflation deflation debate going on with that. But yeah, that's what quantitative easing would be. But yeah, again, I got the guy who coined it, Professor Richard Werner. Professor Richard Werner, and yeah, smart guy.
Damn, it's interesting, bro. Definitely interesting. Yeah, so that stimulus, bro, 1.9 trillion being printed out by the government, and then the Federal Reserve comes in, which the Federal Reserve is a private entity. The United States does not own the Federal Reserve.
That's right.
That we use, that United States has to pay back the Federal Reserve. So the Federal Reserve keeps, every year we have to pay back that money to them in some way or another, right? At least the interest rates. So the more we borrow, and this is just me in the most stupefied way that I know it, and I try to explain it, but we got to pay that money back somehow. Like I said, the Federal Reserve is a private entity, private bank. It's not owned by the United States. That's who we get this money, that's where we get these bonds from and stuff like that. So yeah, it's crazy, bro. It really is. And like I said, there's millions and millions of Americans that do need stimulus checks,
Do they need it, or do they need a jobs program?
I think it would be both. I think it would be both, bro, because if the economy, okay, so say we're in pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. And if some places just can't be open, if there's so many people in a work field, in a workspace, and then the people that can't work because their workspace cannot be open, like say Disneyland or theme parks, or events, people that work security at these events. Now, if that doesn't open, how it hasn't been opened, where do these people go to get jobs? Right? If nobody else is hiring, I mean, I guess that would be a job program, right? But then what do these companies like do? We can't afford to hire all these people. So then that's why I guess you would need the stimulus check, people that been on unemployment, I guess, or they've been cut off.
Right.
And their job still hasn't opened. I mean, where do all these people go?
Yeah. I mean,
what do you think?
I mean, look, I'm all I don't know. I like to call myself more of a conservative libertarian, right? I mean, I guess conservative in my family values, right? My values, but I'm also a libertarian where I'm a proponent for a free market, right? For allow people to be their own bosses and allow them to take care of themselves and not tax them a lot or hardly any, right? Allow people to make mistakes more than anything. But when the government comes in and they tell you, hey, you can't do this and you have to be shut down, their only way of fixing it is by taxing you and by taking away what you've earned from your job, the money you've earned. And so that destroys your wealth. And if they tell you, oh, well, now we're going to give you stimulus and all this, now they're taking from you and going to give back to you what they already took. So that to me is a robbery, because you're not only getting a devalued currency, but you're also getting stolen from, right? They're taking from you and giving back to you what they stole from you at a much lesser evaluation than when they took it. So I do think that anything that the government touches crumbles. That's why I'm a very proponent for smaller government. I would rather have doctors come up with their own insurance plans, right? If you graduated from UCLA, right, or USC, and you're a doctor, come out with your own insurance plan and have people join your insurances, right? I mean, there's so many doctors, but we're dominated by a few insurance companies that have a stranglehold on that market. And, you know, a lot of it is government subsidized, so they could go and be available for everybody, but not the highest quality, you know? And you're not really seeing a doctor when you go to the clinic. You're kind of seeing a nurse, or they're just checking your temperature, blah, 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 asking you bullshit questions. Nothing bad against nurses, you know, but I'm just saying that you're not really getting that one-to-one because of government and all these regulations. So
do you believe in healthcare, universal healthcare?
I'm for a healthcare program that, you know, it's like a pay, like a more, how would I explain it? I mean, yeah, universal healthcare does work. I think would work if you're taxing and being transparent on that money you're taxing people with, right? You want to know where every freaking penny is being channeled through, so you know who is getting involved at a much, you know, at a greater detail than to just pay a tax and just be like, okay, I have healthcare. Like, I want to know where that money is going, because I want to get the best bang for my buck. If I want to pay taxes, I want to make sure that I'm paying taxes so I get the highest quality. I mean, you're already taking from me, right? So I expect the best. I don't expect the basic healthcare program that you want to offer me. So if I am for it, but at the same time, I'm like, I'd rather see the free market work it. You know, let's see what the doctors could provide. The doctors that are out there that would want to be a small business and not work for an agency, and they want to start their own healthcare programs. Yeah, it's not hard, but let's cut back on some regulations. You know, all these regulations are just driving us to insanity, because we assume that the same things, you know, be the best, and it's not going to be the best.
I think it's a bunch of rich people hanging out with a bunch of rich people, looking out for a bunch of rich people's best interest, you know?
Could be.
I think it's I think all the entities that are set in stone, like you said, the healthcare industry, pharma industry, all these big industries that are controlled. I don't know if you could say controlled, but mainly made out of these small companies. You know, they're not letting a brand new small company come in now, dude. They have all of it, you know. So, and how does that happen? Like I said, conspiracy, right? I think it's just they're bought out. They have the government bought out, so they don't change it, right? They're set in stone, I think, by the same government that these companies are fundraising, I would think, right? I mean, why else hasn't it changed? So I think that's what's going on.
That makes sense. But
that's just my stupid thought to it.
Right, it's a lot of lobbying. You know, big corporations have a lot of lobbyists, have a lot of money behind those lobbyists, and of course, if you know you pay off someone well, and that's in the Senate or in the Congress by a lobbyer, then of course they're going to get their own family members to be a lobbyist to lobby for, you know, on behalf of the Congress's family. I mean, all this shit's interconnected. It's sad that it's gotten to the point where Americans have to live without payment for a while and not being able to work. So, yeah, I mean, the whole $15 minimum wage talk, the whole universal basic income, we're not getting shit. We're not getting any of that, just to tell you straight up. We're not getting no 15. I mean, of course, if the state decides that, hey, in this jurisdiction, we're going to give, or we're going to.
Well, that's what California decided, right?
Yeah,
for 15 here, but what was it, stretched like across 4 years?
Something like that. I don't know. But
yeah, I'm not too sure about it.
I think San Francisco is like at $16.
See, but then that's only
just look at cost of living, though.
That's only to combat the cost of living, right?
Yeah,
that's only to combat the inflation.
It's still not that much.
Right? So you're basically giving these people, it's like if what you're living at right now is $12 and you're here. Those $16 is not like you're gonna advance. No, it's you're 16 here, and then this is gonna come up here. Mm-hmm. So you're right back where you started. Yes. You're right back at that line. You're still struggling to pay the bills. Like they're raising minimum wages, but to basically because cost of living is raising.
And a lot of people are fighting for just a couple dollars. You know, they don't understand that those couple dollars ain't gonna change your lifestyle. You're still going to be stuck making minimum wage because say you're making $12, right? And then you fight for $2 more, and then minimum wage goes up $2. Well, then you're back where you started because minimum wages went up $2. Yeah. So you're at 12 now. It's 14, but minimum wage. So you're still in the same hole. And that's an illusion. Honestly, I think minimum wage is an illusion. I think it's to keep people lazy because if you really want it, you're going to work for it. If you really, really want it, if you're driven to make more than $15, you're going to work for it. You're going to figure out a way to get knowledgeable in a space where it pays you more money because you have that skill set. And some people would argue, oh, well, they should just be employed and just get a job. You don't need to have skills. Yes, you do. What are you talking about? Just because we're so cushioned up in this bubble of what we call California bubble, where you could live off the welfare system, you could get some minimum wage job going, and you'll be okay. You won't go starving. I mean, then you start breeding generations that fall back on that, and they think that's, worst case scenario, which in reality, that's like not even, it's worse than the worst case scenario, right? Because you get stuck there. You're not going to grow up past there. Yeah, I guess it's a good safety net, but a safety net could be improved much more if we allow the free market to work. So I don't think we're going to get $15, though. I don't think we're going to get universal basic income because Biden has definitely fought against Medicare and Medicaid. He's talked about publicly, you can look this up, Biden has talked about cutting those programs. So anybody who says, oh, well, now we have a Democratic government, they're going to give us everything. No, they're really not. They're really just going to give you a lump of coal, and you're gonna be happy with that. There's a Democrat.
To me, bro, Democrats and Republicans, I mean, it's just a facade, bro. I mean, I think it just gives the people a reason to go red or go blue, and discuss about it. Because I don't know, bro. I guess I don't look too much into politics to tell you what benefits what and what party does this and that. The way I see it is, to me, it's all the same. I think it's the feds that controls everything, bro. And I think they're just the puppets that are trying to implement these things, Yeah. 3 stimulus packages in less than a year and a half, right? Never before seen pandemic. But how is it that United States, which is a first world country, many would say is the best country of the world, and we couldn't contain it? Mm-hmm. When you have smaller countries, and I guess that would come to, hey, everybody here has more of a choice not to follow the rules. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to follow them, you don't. In other countries, I mean, hey, you have to follow the rules. Communist. Hey, what about North Korea, bro? I mean, nothing ever comes out of that. Did they get hit with COVID,
bro? I mean,
because nobody comes in and out of that fucking place.
We saw that movie with Seth Rogen and James Franco. Yeah, I think that's real.
Yeah, right though, bro. But think about it. Yeah. What have you heard about North Korea about COVID outbreak? Who the fuck goes in there? Who comes out? Yeah. So I think they've probably been the only ones that have been good, bro.
No, I mean,
Well, think about it, bro. I mean, I guess media doesn't. They're not out in media and shit.
Yeah. I'm suspect. If you don't allow media into your country as press, as just journalists, as people who just want to see the truth, and you're trying to suppress them or not have them in at all. I'm suspect.
For sure. And I mean, North Korea is as communist as you could get, bro. Right. North Korea is as fucking like
China too.
Yeah, for sure. But I think North Korea, in a sense, is China doesn't close its country to, you know what I'm saying? You can go travel to China. North Korea, I mean, and did you ever see the documentary where that reporter snuck in there and I mean, I'm talking about these people are hardcore, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I would put them a little bit higher than China because, I mean, you can travel to China. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is bad. It's communist, but like North Korea, bro, those motherfuckers are crazy.
Yeah, I don't think they're as crazy as our government says. I mean, to be honest, I think we'll steamroll North Korea.
You think so?
Oh, dog, easily.
I mean, I would think so too.
If we wanted to grab North Korea by the nutsack, it'd be no problem. Look, I'm not trying to be an imperialist or anything like that. It's just the media. If the media is propping up like those countries of concerns, it's because there's a narrative being driven so people could look here and not look here, right?
Well, bro, what if North Korea is like a alien base, bro, and then that's why nobody can go in there and get out? That's like a Earth headquarters for them, you know?
Yeah, you know, there's a thing where people cut their eyelids so they could have bigger eyeballs. I think, I swear to God, you know, girls.
They grab him and cut him.
Yeah, just so they could have a bigger eyeball. Because Chinese people have to, you know, they're already squinting naturally.
Oh, is that like an Asian thing?
I think it's been an Asian thing, yeah. So it's kind of weird.
I did not know that, bro.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I think North Koreans
holy fuck
do that shit so they could think they're aliens. Because think about it, bro. They're fucking weird. I mean, why? Who knows what the fuck Kim Jong-un is doing? The last thing I ever read about that dude is that he had a problem with eating cheese. And so this dude was a cheese, like, enthusiast. And so he got sick from eating too much cheese. So I don't know if aliens like cheese, but if Kim Jong-un was an alien, then for sure he wouldn't last.
I mean, bro, well, didn't he make up a lie that he beat Michael Jordan on one-on-one, bro? But you know, then his people eat it up, bro, because that's all they know.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like when you my theory of, well, it's been proven if you keep a baby out of birth in a room, it dies, bro. It needs human affection, right? Right. So I think these people being secluded in this country where they know nothing but what they're telling them, I mean, to me, bro, that is beyond me, bro.
Yeah, they only have one perspective.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they don't, right. I guess, and I'm not to judge them, but I don't think they're even able to think outside the box. They're not taught to do that, right?
Very true.
It's whatever. Well, in that documentary, bro, there's liquor stores that have fake food on the windows, bro.
It's like that movie.
Yeah, it is. That was a good movie. That was fucking funny.
What is it called?
I forget what it's called.
I know it's James Franco and Seth Rogen, but I fucking forget the
name. But yeah, bro.
Or in the interview, sorry.
Yeah, there you go. But in that doco, bro, yeah, it showed how it's very fucking like, I mean, every house looks the same, right? Communism as it is. Every house looks, everybody eats. I mean, but then in a way, it's like, hey, it's fair. But is it really fair? You know, one perspective, bro. You can't even speak your mind because you'll get shot down right in the street. And I don't know if you ever seen those pictures of those tall people, those tall generals. It shows like them, I think, strolling a nuclear bomb through the streets, and then there's like these tall, like 9 foot sergeants, bro, like in the back. It's crazy. Watch, let me see the computer. I'll pull it. I put the thing on you. It's crazy, bro. But that's just to me. I mean, North Korea's on some shit, bro.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be afraid. I mean, we have some badass fucking special ops guys that will drop the hammer. Like, you've never seen the hammer dropped.
You ever seen those? I mean, that quiet kid that just strolls up one day to school with an M14 and just lights everybody up.
Oh yeah.
I think of North Korea like that. Like, these fuckers are plotting, bro.
No,
I think so, bro.
They're so small. I don't think so. I mean, maybe. Look, I would bet that if Kim Jong-un were to ever really fuck with the U.S., I think South Korea would take them out first. Because South Korea is so far advanced in technology, and they're part of our allies. So, you know, I think they would just fucking steamroll them. I think the U.S. would bring in NATO and just carpet bomb the shit out of North Korea. Again, I have nothing against North Korea, but, you know, I do understand that our government is just fucking beast when it comes to the military. I mean, we spend $700 billion a year for our budget for the military. And I mean, that tells you everything right there. So I just hope we don't go arm-to-arm war with any of these countries. I'm sure Kim Jong-un is a good guy.
You could barely see the dude right there, but there's a better photo, bro. Hold on, don't put it yet, because
I mean, look, I think Asian people could be tall. I don't think they're small.
I saw this thing.
Might have a little wiener.
Average height. I think they're 5'6" average. Something like that.
Koreans? 5'6"?
Asians.
Oh, Asians?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't doubt it.
That has to be Yang Ming right there.
Bro,
but
that has to be Yang Ming.
That's yeah, no, dude. Fuck, I closed all this, bro.
No, my man. It's all good, B. It's all good in the hood.
Yeah. But I think going back to that, bro, I think they're that silent kid in class. I mean, not to be too scared of them, bro.
M14.
Hey, I'm not gonna like not fall asleep at night because of these dudes.
Right.
But I think if they're not wasting their money on their people, what are they wasting their money on, bro? They're doing something.
For sure it's gonna be blow up dolls and vodka. Just go nuts. Just get a blow up doll and vodka, and that's it, homie. You're Dunskies.
It's wild, bro. It's a wild world.
You know, I think North Koreans are probably honorable people. They might have jack-off syndrome, which I think is why they're not as aggressive as people might think. Because if you have jack-off syndrome, then the last thing you want to do is fight, you know, because all your testosterone just blew out. And so every time you're aggressively wanting to fight and Kim Jong-un is coming on the television to tell you how shitty your day was, well, then you relieve the stress by just whacking it a little bit, you know? You're like, you know what? I'm fucking tired of this shit. I have jack-off syndrome. I'm going to go beat it off, and then I'm not going to care. You know, and I think that's why they haven't been aggressive. Bro, they haven't attacked South Korea. Like, think about that. North Koreans have not invaded South Korea. They're next door. There's a fucking line.
There's a wall.
So if they're as crazy as our, you know, news media, whether it's CNN or MSNBC or Fox or whatever, claim they are, they would have steamrolled South Korea. But they have jack-off syndrome, and when you have that, again, your testosterone drops. You don't care. You're just like, all right, cool.
I was watching Sons of Anarchy. You ever seen that?
Oh, I used to.
Did you ever get to that where that guy has masturbation syndrome? And you never seen that?
No, I don't.
So he would when he gets nervous, bro, he starts rubbing one out, right?
Oh shit.
So it's funny, dude, because I mean I'm sure that's just legit, bro. You know,
right? Jack-off syndrome.
So he
I
would
came
be
up with that term.
He would be in a room full of men, bro, and then they would be conversating, and he starts getting nervous. He'll start rubbing one out real quick, and then they'll be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Oh,
but that just reminded me of that.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with jacking off. I honestly, I think that will save your marriage. Think about it. If you're a guy, besides being ambitious, right? If you're ambitious, then you're not gonna worry about jacking off. Or if you're into like
Wolf on Wall Street, bro. They encourage jacking.
He encourages at least twice a day.
He said he said those were rookie numbers. You have to pump those numbers 3 to 5 times a day.
Right, because he was jacking off once a week.
Yeah,
right. That is.
He's like, no, you got to pump those numbers up.
Yeah, and look, he has a good point. But going back to what was I saying?
Well, didn't they say, bro, that when human beings masturbate, it extends your life expectancy?
It does?
Yeah.
Why? Why is that?
I think it's just because of stress, bro. Not only that, heart.
Oh,
you know, works out your heart a little bit.
So your heart muscle gets
because the main, one of the main veins run through there. Because think about it, when you do get an erection, it's not like your fucking dick grows out. No, it's it's an overflow of blood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so your heart's working overdrive just to get that sucker up, and it's a good workout, bro. Good cardiovascular workout.
Your forearm workout.
Shit. No, but even having sex, right? You burn a shit ton of calories having sex, so.
Yeah,
I think it's crazy, bro, because that is part of nature. Yes. Man, as people probably don't even want to hear us talk about. No, it's part of nature. It's normal. Yeah. Everybody does it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's how we reproduce. That's how it's always been. So, but yeah, I think I did read something like that. That masturbation, women and men, extend your life. Which I mean, it's crazy, bro. And then that could be a whole different topic of porn.
Right.
You know, that could be a topic of its own, because I saw this thing on, I forgot what it was, but they sat 3 people that were for porn and 3 people that were against porn, and then they all gave their perspectives about what's going on with it. And there was like a director, you know, and he was saying how porn is like educational, and then there was a dude that was addicted to porn that had been addicted for 20 years, ruining his marriage, and now he teaches why porn is not, because that porn's fake, you know, like it's on your mind. And I could see that happening, bro. Like if somebody's so addicted to porn and that's how they in their mind visualize a woman, I mean, those women are high. You know, you're not gonna find those on the blocks, you know what I mean?
No, they're not gonna just see you and be like, oh, can you come fix my faucet? And then you get the back on.
You get that cool little mix going. But you know what I'm saying? I think it's it does. It's like anything else, bro. Like if you get too addicted, it's not good for you, you know?
No. I mean, just having the awareness of addiction is super valuable, because a lot of people go on their day without really realizing what they're into or what they're doing or what the fuck happened yesterday, because they're not really aware. There's just so much shit going on, whether you're on all these social media platforms and then you're trying to, you know, get with the girl or spit some game. Like, you don't really fucking know where your thoughts are at. You're just going riffing day by day. And I do see how an addiction of of jack off syndrome could be, you know, not as you won't be as productive because the rest of your day you're just not gonna want to give a fuck. You're not gonna have that drive to be like, all right, well, now that I've, you know, finished jacking off, I'm gonna go run or I'm gonna go do. No, it's like you're like, oh fuck, I'm just chill now. You know, I'm a fucking lion just laying down.
Have you seen that movie Don John?
Yeah.
when he's like he finally gets the girl he wants, bro, and then he, you know, they have sex, and then he still has to go run one out.
And she finds out.
Yeah, but I mean, as a woman, can you see how disrespectful that would be, though? You know, like I get it. Like, hey, I'm not enough for you, but it extends from that. I mean, that's then a mental illness. You know
what the issue was with that movie? I think what they got wrong was actual communication, like having a conversation of how, hey, if this is what I want, like, you know, if you're a man and you want a certain pleasure, you're gonna describe it to the best of your ability with the person you're gonna have sex with or marry with, or, you know, spend the rest of your, you know, 4 years, 5, 10, 100 years lives with. You communication is everything. You know, you don't just want to be with a girl and automatically think she's gonna deep throw your cock when she's really just,
she does
like,
not know you.
She's just gonna blow the tip.
I'm
like, oh, I'll give you a blowjob.
She doesn't. She
you know,
don't get you, bro. She don't know what you want.
She don't know what you want. You gotta have communication. And if you don't get what you want and you start jacking off and you still trying to make love with your girl,
you're finding creases to get away from that.
Yeah, you know, you should at least be open. Like, look, I just started jacking off. I'm not getting what I want. I still like you. I really do like you, but I have this, you know, fucking fetish for my dick to be rubbed off with your feet, you know, and you don't do it, so I'm jacking off to my feet. I'm using my feet to jack, you know. But, you know, it's just
hey, bro,
communication's key.
Some people have weird fetishes, bro. I mean, to us they may be weird, but to them they may be perfectly normal. Like, I saw this video, bro, some girl running or roller skating, and some dude pulls up to her, hey, I'll give you $20 for your sweaty socks.
Oh my god.
She takes him up right down the spot, gives him 20
bucks.
socks. And then if you go on Craigslist, bro, and then there's always people that are willing to buy used women's underwear. Some dudes just like sniffing that shit, bro, and they get off on that, right? Where does that come from? I don't know, bro. I mean, it could be some sort of a mental illness that they have. It's a little hot in here.
No, you're good.
We gotta get a fucking AC in here.
You're good, dog. It's
good. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, it's like, holy fuck, dude. What had to happen in that person's life? And I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'm just saying, like, what happened for him to get off on like some sweaty sock shit, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? What deep conversation did he have with himself? Like, dog, I actually do like smelling sweaty socks.
What if he had a dramatic experience where, you know, he was being raped and there was just sweaty socks all around him, and the only thing he could, like, you know, fucking grab to hide his feeling is sweaty socks.
Sweaty socks. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what interests me, bro. I don't care about the sweaty sock fetish. I care about the neurological experience. Like, what happened? What happened in your mind that led you to that, bro? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it, bro. There's like pedophiles, bro. I despise pedophiles. Dog. But what in their mind?
Isn't it a trip when you
triggers that, bro?
Sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
No, for sure.
But as a new parent, isn't it pretty interesting how you have this primal switch that goes off when you figure out how, you know, criminal and evil pedophiles really are.
Yeah.
You know, you get this sense of feeling like, shit, that could happen to my child any day.
Exactly.
And your child won't have the ability to explain to you, how or what went down, because they will just tell you stories of whatever, but something that's so 5-minute, 10-minute brief, you know, of rapingness, right? The child will forget the rest of the day.
And not only that, bro, when it comes from like a family member or family friend,
that's even worse.
I think the parent then has like, fuck, is my kid making this up? Because maybe they still want to see the good in that person. But I think if your kid, like with somebody that you say you're good with, you know. But I think in those situations, bro, if your kid does not know what that is, and nobody's told them that, believe your kid,
or the
bro.
Parent doesn't even know it was a family member.
Exactly.
They think it was an outside person.
Yeah, and then it's within the circle.
This whole time, that person's coming to your birthday parties, coming over to your house for dinner, and you're just chilling in the background, and then that relative is looking at you every now and then saying, hey, you know what to do. I don't know. You know, that's what I'm assuming.
I don't know how shit happens. And I'm sure, bro, and I think these fuckers, they get off on it, right? They get off on like, oh, I don't want to get caught, but it turns them on more, right? And I think what they do is when they do get their victim, bro, and then they threaten them. If they don't kill them like a lot of these fuckers do, they threaten them like, hey, if you say something, I'm gonna kill your mom, or I'm gonna do this. You gotta stay quiet, you know. And as a little kid, bro, the magnitude of those words, bro, probably freak them out. They don't realize, like, no, me telling my parents is the best thing. They don't know that, bro. And their little minds is, damn, I gotta stay quiet or someone's just gonna get hurt. And that's why I think it's very dangerous, bro. Like, you know, I have a daughter, bro.
Right.
I don't know if it's different with you with the boy, but with me, it terrifies me the idea of my 12-year-old daughter trying to go spend the night at her friend's house. And I used to do it. We used to do it. I used to go spend the night at Pigeon's house, but as a boy, you know. But as a father now, it terrifies me. And I know the day's gonna come, bro. And I'm gonna make every excuse not to let her go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or have them come over. I don't know, bro. But it terrifies me, bro.
Look, we go back to what I was telling you: communication, which is key. You know, you want to be. This is why it's like the new era, right? The new era of parenting or millennials, because we were taught completely different. And
then boomers, bro. Boomers didn't have that. Oh, I'm gonna go spend the night at this person. They were more conservative, right?
Well, not really, because if you look at the boomers, they were all the hippies. They were all that Woodstock. They were out there.
I'm thinking before
there were so many of them. That it wasn't that. I mean, I'm sure it was common that there was. You know, there's always been priests, Catholic priests that rape, you know, kids and whatnot.
Fuck
but
those guys.
You
know what I'm saying, bro?
No, of course. But I see what's crazy about the boomers is that the boomers were once. I mean, we millennials are like how the boomers were when the boomers were around, and we want to be free. We want to be out there. And now the boomers became more safety oriented and more conservative. That, you know, we don't want to be that. But they were just like us at once. But anyway, that's another topic for another day. But no, pedophiles. What scares me. It really scares me is not being open with my son or being informative about these topics, you know, because then I might think like, oh, he's too young for this. But I don't think there's too young. There's too young. You could use that excuse for certain topics, but when it comes for sexual stuff, or if, you know, you're 5 and 6 and another boy's 5 and 6 and he's grabbing your dick and you don't know what to do, but you think it's funny because
and everybody starts laughing
and everybody's grabbing each other's dicks, right? And then you find out 4 years later, like, hey, you know, maybe we shouldn't be doing that. I think having those conversations of saying, hey, this is right and this is not right. You should, you know, you respect yourself first and respect others, and then of course respect girls. You know, you don't want to be pointing at girls, you know, private parts and saying, why don't you have what I have? You know, it's like you need to have those conversations.
Have you had that conversation with Noah?
My son? Before? Yeah, I have. I mean, he's gonna be 5 this year, which I'm super excited. Because he's obviously aware of a lot of shit, but he's very, you know, I think he's asking I'm trying to help him how to ask the right questions, you know. So I do speak to him like I would speak to you, right? But he's my son, so I have to kind of bring it down a notch and be more finesse and nice. But I do tell him, you know, certain things that I think fathers should, like, hey, you know, respect yourself, respect other kids, you know, no fighting unless you're protecting yourself or unless you're protecting your sibling. And you know, when it comes to private parts, I always tell them, don't touch other people's stuff. You know, don't even touch yourself unless you're cleaning yourself. You know, but yeah, I put it into his mind, but I don't bring it up every moment of the day or every day. But we do speak about it because he's now talking back to me, not in a bad way, but just talking to me like, hey, well, what about this and why is that and this and that, and it's just fascinating because his little mind is working, so I have to work with it.
They're so complex, bro, and they're so smart, and it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy how they see the world, bro.
So you don't want an AI baby, you want a real baby.
Yeah. Don't go to virtual babies.
Don't go to no Elon Musk baby.
But yeah, bro. But see, and then to go along with that, I think what scares me with that point is like anything else. You can be the great, like you, bro, or you can be the greatest driver, bro, and people are gonna suck at driving and come and fucking hit you, whatever, right?
Of course.
You can have the greatest conversation with your kids. They're gonna know it, but then there's gonna come this kid that didn't have that conversation, that he started seeing his parents bone at a young age because they didn't care about clothes, and you know what I'm saying? And then those kids come around, and then they start fucking intertwining your kid, and now their mind starts, even though you started telling them the right shit. It's crazy, bro. It scares me. And I'm like, how the fuck, if my mom works so much every day, how the fuck did I not turn out fucked up, you know? Right. But I think it's, in a way, you're street smart in that sense.
Yes.
So I guess maybe we gotta let our kids be street smart too, bro. Let them know, you know.
I think that's the nature part, right? Because it's nature or nurture. Nurture is only so much that your parents could do. Nurture, right? Nurture is so much. It's whatever your parents could do for you, or guardian, legal guardian. Nature, not nurture, but nature. It's how you grow up in the hood or in the streets, right? Yeah. You're out there.
Not necessarily the hood, but
tested.
Just being in the streets. Exactly. Fending for yourself.
Exactly. I mean, I got in fights in the past where I wasn't proud of, but you have to set your own ground, right? You have to know what you're made of. So when people test you, well, I'm not saying, okay, this is not advice for young kids to do, but if someone wants to pick a fight with you, of course, you know, there's so many feelings that go in, and people just want to pick a fight with you just because they feel like they got the upper hand. But that's maybe a good opportunity to test yourself, because it's either you fight with another person, and you test, you know, how manly you are, right? How boyish you are. Or you don't defend for yourself and you get picked on, and then you become the class, you know, pussy, and everybody's picking on you. Everybody in your age group thinks, oh, you're a pussy, you're not gonna, and that's just nature. I mean, that you could go in the wild and fucking wolves packs are the same shit. You surround yourself with wolves, well, you better put up or shut up, because
your ass is getting shunted. Yeah,
or you're gonna be eaten alive, because wolves would eat each other. So it's part of nature too, man. Nature's a huge, which is street smarts, you know, which is, I think, why you and I came out good, right?
Yeah,
we grew up in the streets,
I
dog.
think so, bro.
I think
it was a little bit of, hey, you got to learn it for yourself, and then,
right.
Because I always tell my girl, bro, you know, hey, when you go to the grocery store, don't like sit there and talk to people outside the car, because there's somebody else trying to get in the, you know what I'm saying? Like having that intuition of, like, when you know something's up, and I think people that are not immune to that, bro, like, oh yeah, what do you need help with, and then you're over there getting robbed, you know. I think that a lot of people would benefit from a little bit of street smart. But
get yourself punched in the face just once in a while,
like what they say when you go to jail, pick a fight with the baddest dudes, so you know you solidify yourself. But yeah, bro, back to the pedophiles. Fuck pedophiles.
I think there's a documentary called Silent Secret, some shit like that. My Father's Sins, that's a crazy one. It's a documentary about pedophiles and shit. There's one in London, in the UK. I forget the guy's name. I'm blanking on me, but it's a good one too. It's I think it's called Open Secret. I think is the United States one, but there's one in the UK which talks about the Queen of England, and Little Jersey is an island where there's like a huge pedophile hub, and they have little like little stone figure children naked and stuff like that. Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's normalized.
It's somewhat normalized, yeah, but it's hugely disturbing for a lot of people. Live there.
So it's like, if you're a pedophile, there's a spot for you to go live. Oh, in a way,
100%.
See, and like I said, bro, is it a psychological thing? Is it something in their brain? Is it were they molested when they were young, so that normalized in their brain and they think that's the right thing to do? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Is it just because they like it? Like, you know, people have preferences, so I don't know, bro. Kids are sacred, bro, and I don't think anybody should be fucking around with kids, because they're so innocent, and you can really shape a person's life when they're a kid, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you start doing certain shit, you can shape that person's life for the good or for the bad, bro. And it sucks, bro. I could just imagine the torment and the weight those kids that have been molested get, you know, the weight that gets put on them, bro, the torment from these fuckers. So, like I said, bro, and I feel this way. I mean, I've always felt like that, but now that I have a kid, it makes you like, fuck, dude, like.
Well, one thing I think a lot of kids, parents, you know, have faults in is how they raise your child, because a lot of parents expect you to give them your undivided honor, undivided attention, and to give them your respect right off the bat. You know, I think in the Bible it says honor your parents or some shit like that. I think it's the opposite. I think you should honor your children, because when you have a child, you're making a contract with God saying, hey, I'm going to take care of one of your precious childs and put them in this vessel of a body, and I'm gonna, you know, try to nurture him through as many years as I can before I let him be his own person. And I'm going to do this because I love life and I love God and I love the creation of things. But we don't see it that way. We see it as, oh, we just had a child. Oh, it was a screw up. Or I got, pregnant because I got raped or whatever.
Yeah.
Of course, that's another topic. I mean, that's another much sensitive, right? But if you're hanging out with the girl and you really like her and you make, you have sex and you get her pregnant, you made a contract with God without you even realizing. And so the way you treat your children is the way God treats you in your life. And so if you treat your children shitty, you hit them all the time, or you ground them, or you tell them no for everything, and you hold them back, well, then God is going to look at you as the individual doing that to your child and put harder paths in front of you where you're not going to be able to get out. And your children are going to be put in a path where they will get tested to see, okay, you did grow up hard, you did grow up shitty, but there are different avenues and different channels that you could, strive through and be successful. And those paths will be easier. They'll be more opened up because you witness and were aware of a lot of things at a young age because you were treated bad and hit and blah, blah, blah. And now you know that life can only get better from there. And the shitty parent life would only get harder from there. And so if you were to not just, have your child honor you, undividedly, and just be like, oh, you have to honor me because I'm your child, I'm your parent, and you have to respect me. Instead of doing that and saying, hey, I'm going to honor you as my child, I'm going to have you succeed, and I'm going to put all my effort into you, and we're going to have communication, we're going to talk about things. Believe me, God will bless you in ways you can't even imagine. That's how I see it.
It's karma, karma in every right way, right?
Yeah.
Karma even with your kid. But yeah, bro, I think
Cardano.
let's touch on Cardano. I know we went on tangent about life, but let's touch on some cryptocurrencies. Mainly Cardano. We were big on Cardano.
Why are we big on Cardano, Rigo?
Big on Cardano. We're big on Cardano because we see Cardano being the next Ethereum.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about Cardano being the next Ethereum.
Meaning Cardano's going to be the platform that a lot of the new coins are going to go and stabilize on. I think Cardano's technology is going to improve transactions and fees and stuff. And I think Cardano is going to be like the third generation of cryptocurrency. It's going to be the newer, the faster, more user-friendly, to build dApps on or whatever. But that's why I'm currently big on Cardano. And then another reason is because it's super cheap right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to find a coin that you can catch early and hope it rides. And we've done the math. On how high it can get. And with futures coming in and all NFTs, ETFs and all that, I think it could potentially get to well, can you go back a little bit? Oh, it dropped from the fourth Tether. No, I think it's always been. No, I think it was.
It's still top 5, dog. I mean,
Binance coin went up, bro.
Yeah, Binance.
Because Cardano was number 3, but dude, Binance coin at a point was like insane. So, how Binance is one of the biggest exchanges, right? Where you can go globally.
Mm-hmm.
You can go in order to use it, you have to use Binance USA here in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you use a VPN or whatever, you can get it through Binance.
Mm-hmm.
But see, Binance is one of the greatest exchanges. Well, now crypto.com, which is like United States can buy crypto, that has its own coin, bro, and that's only sitting at 16 cents. So if you see, like, if you want to go back to the chart.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying Binance right here. If you would have bought Binance in October of 2017, Binance coin, you could have got it at 8 cents. Now today's trading at around $239. So of course,
that's an exchange token.
Right.
So if you buy, say, Bitcoin through Binance, and you want to transfer it through Ethereum, that gas fee is expensive. So when people do is Ethereum or buy a Bitcoin to Binance coin, and then they buy Ethereum through the Binance coin, you avoid some fees, right? So if you want to go back another shot, you have Uniswap number 8. That's also an exchange token, right? It's in at 33 cents. That one you can buy on Coinbase.com. Earlier this year, I bought it at $5, and I think I sold at like 30.
Jesus.
But yeah, dude, if you look, like in January, it was like at $5, bro. like November.
Yeah.
December was 356, and then I think when I bought it was like at $5 in January of this year. And it's up to $33, bro. Massive gains, right?
Huge.
So if you want to go back again, and then I'm gonna show you another one. Go down, wherever Crow token is at. Crow
with the
is
K?
With the C. Crow token is crypto.com coin number 24.
You want to hit that
15
one first?
cents.
Okay, crypto.com coin.
Yeah. And that is a coin that remember I told you can buy DOT or Cardano through crypto.com? Same thing. It does the same thing of like Binance coin, Uniswap coin. This is an exchange token, bro, for 15 cents. Who knows in 3 years, bro, in the next bull run, this is at 250.
Oh, easily. Well, again,
you see what I'm saying? I put the reason they gain value is because of the fees. They allow you to not pay as many fees when you're doing transactions within their platform.
super smart.
But that's 15 cents, bro. To me, that's a buy.
Buying opportunity.
Even
people.
if it hits highs of 30 and it drops down to a cent, buy it, bro. The next
Yes.
bull run, this thing's gonna be worth $5-6. Uniswap was only created last year, bro.
Hell yeah. And it
In
went up
2020 with the big old DeFi, and it's already at 33 cents. So a lot of cryptos, bro. But Cardano, 113 sitting at number 4. I think it's a good long-term hold. Buy,
Cardano
dollar
number 5. Yeah.
dollar cost average into it. Buy you have $50-$60 extra a week, throw it on there, let it grow, bro. It might not get to those massive gains this year, but in 3 or 4 years, I think this coin can make a lot of people a lot of money.
Cardano.
Oh,
of course. I think most of these currencies that you touched on, cryptos, they're gonna make the new generation of millionaires. And if you ride the wave, if you ride the stomach wrenching downturns and just use those as a buying opportunity, you're definitely gonna be sitting pretty at the end of the year, or at the end of the next 2 years. Excuse me, because these currencies, they take time, especially Cardano. We've been following their Mary Gorgon phases that they passed in March 1st, and they have another phase, I think is the Alonso one, at the end of March.
Yeah.
So all these phases that Cardano is going through, it's only making it much stronger, much better. And Charles Hopkinson is one of the founders of Cardano. He was one of the founders of Ethereum. So he's doing Cardano himself with obviously a group of people. But he's been very vocal of their process. And you can follow him on YouTube and subscribe to him.
super smart dude, bro. Super smart fucking guy.
Genius. I mean, I would love to have him on our podcast
For
in
real,
the future.
hopefully one day.
Yeah, I mean, but we're just
we'll get to that one day.
when we become human. We're monkeys right now.
Yeah.
But anyways,
And look at that market cap, bro. $35 billion, right? Cardano, bro. Look at Ethereum. If Cardano hits 100 billion, bro, that dollar turns to like $4. That $1, and that's massive gains as it is. That's 4x, bro.
let's see.
And it's very not far fetched, dude. It's not far fetched. Bitcoin, there was a lot of money that flew out of Bitcoin this past 2 weeks because of the flash crashes and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it was over $1 trillion market cap. It's down to 968. But it's like how markets go. Money gets poured in, money gets poured out as they go, right?
Of course.
And I think the Bitcoin's still on a bull run. It's proven. It's 51,000. Remember when it hit 40,000 and people were like, "Oh, you guys, Bitcoin's gonna go to zero." Come on, bro. Bitcoin's already stabilized itself
Now
to stay.
I have a question for you. Is Bitcoin correlated with tech stocks like Microsoft, Facebook?
I would think so,
Apple?
bro, because now that Tesla invested in Bitcoin, when Tesla stocks do something, I think Bitcoin is gonna correspond to that, and not in a big way, but just in enough because they're now pegged.
Right.
A big corporation invested in it, so I think it's like if I sponsor you and you do something stupid, it might look bad on me, right?
Right.
I think it's the same way, not in a big, in the spectrum of things. I don't think in a big way, but I think it could be, bro. But that's beautiful, bro. 51,000. I'm hoping it hits 60,000 by the end of the month, bro.
Yeah.
Because think about it. It hits a high, it drops down. It hits a high, it drops down. It hits a high, it drops down.
Right.
So I think it's still a bull run, bro. I think a lot of and when Bitcoin gets to the point of its all-time high of like say 80,000, or I don't even know what it could possibly hit.
Right.
Speculation. But you're gonna see a lot of people pour that money out, collect profits, and then start pouring into Ethereum, Bitcoin, Cardano, Polkadot, all these other altcoins, and that's when you're gonna see that altcoin season come, and that's when you can literally grab $100, throw it on the board, and it's gonna make you money, and that's when a lot of money is gonna be made. I think Litecoin's still a buy on 191. Its all-time high is three. It's still a number 10 coin, bro. What's his all-time high been? If you want to go to the all,
Yeah.
What was it? 350 something. 360, bro.
Yeah.
If all these coins are ripping through all-time highs, Litecoin's gonna rip through an all-time high.
Right.
Probably hit $500-600. So if you have $1,000, say you get your stimulus check, you buy 8 tokens, right? It's sitting at 191. So no, you could get 5 tokens for $1,000. But if those 5 tokens hit $400-500 each, you 5x your money at that point, bro.
Right.
And bro, and that's what happens during these bull runs. All these coins rip through their all-time highs. You can look at any token that like, look at Tron. Tron used to be a top 10 token. Tron hasn't been around, and it's getting a little mini push. I don't even know what number it's at now. Oh, there it is. Tron, 5 cents. It's getting a little mini push, bro. It has been sitting at like 2 cents the whole year, bro. The whole 3 past years. And that has an all-time high of 17 cents. But if you look earlier, like last year, I think it was like 2 cents, bro, less than a penny. And it's hit 5 cents, bro,
Mm-hmm.
That's a big jump as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So just to say, a lot of these coins are going to start seeing good gains. VeChain's at 6 cents. What did I tell you to buy at?
I bought it at 4 cents.
Right? So,
Yeah.
it's up 2 cents, bro.
Right.
And it's still early, bro. This shit could hit 15 cents.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, a lot of these tokens, bro, you guys got to just go on to CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. Go on to CoinGecko. Look at these coins. Go to the websites. Do your research. Realize that what they're fighting for is decentralized finance. Decentralizing so the banks don't control your money. So the Fed doesn't get to print out more dollars. Yeah. So the government doesn't say, "Hey, the dollar's worth shit." That's what these coins are. They're meant to, like Bitcoin. There's no more than 21 million Bitcoin, right? And then they say like 4 billion's already lost. So,
which is interesting.
Which it is interesting.
And it says right here, circulating supply 21 million. There will only be 21 million for here and forever. So yeah, I think. This is super valuable. If you're tuning in, dropouts, if you're wondering, when can I buy? When should I get in? Well, I should buy it when it's falling so I could buy the dip.
Yeah.
Good luck with that, because if you're not, looking into this on the daily like we are and studying and hearing these smarter people than we are have a conversation about where things are going, then you're going to miss out, because maybe the dip was already in and it's only up from here.
Yeah.
And so I do believe that if you have some money, cash, sitting on the sidelines, we're ready to be invested, or you're tired of eating junk food and you want to change your life and start meal prepping, and all that money that you would be spending on fast foods, you could put that money to work on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, on Dogecoin, whatever. Doge, but whatever. But Cardano, and have your money work for it, right?
Yeah.
Just find the right technologies, crypto, and put that money there. And believe me, within no time, you will start realizing that, wow, I have skin in the game. I'm going to start getting more informed and make better decisions and see where I could sell, when I should buy more and whatnot. So, yes, I think anytime you want to buy, it's a good time to buy. And just look into it, find people that are interested as well and see what they have to say. And I always tell people, if something's falling, never catch a falling knife. And that's common out there. That's common language for stocks. If you see a stock falling or Bitcoin is falling and you're like, oh, it's a perfect time to buy, well, you never want to catch a falling knife, because you never know how far down it's going to hit before it starts to go back up. But if you have enough conviction that this Bitcoin is going to be 100 million and it drops down to 32,000, and you might think it could go further, but you bought it at 32,000, well, your conviction will help you sleep at night, because that 100,000 will come. It will eventually come to the next halving cycle, or it might even pass the halving cycle and just keep going up. So yeah, just have enough conviction and don't be afraid to invest. Just have some skin in the game.
Exactly. Have some. Just be informed. Inform yourself. And if you guys want to tune into us, we talk about this stuff. We give you guys our perspective on what we think, and we obviously don't go through all 3,000 tokens because I'm not who's gonna sit there and read all 3,000 white papers.
Right.
We just talk about the coins that we like and what we think about them and where we see this market going because of the market that we are living in the U.S. economy. So it definitely, at this point, and I don't mean to offend anybody, it would be stupid not to invest in this.
Very true.
Right? Because I'm a gambling man. If I can have 20% that it could work and 20% that it doesn't, I'd rather put 20% that it could work than not do it, So just try it out. Go on to, if you want to do Robinhood, I don't suggest Robinhood because you don't have a hold of your tokens. I say either say Coinbase, Crypto.com, or Binance USA. Drop $100, Try to save up $100. If you don't have them, try to save up. Throw it at the coins we talked about and just leave them there. Maybe in a month it'll gross $200, but hey, those are $200 you didn't have. So just do your due diligence to research, and if you guys want to tune into us, and then we'll keep you guys updated as far as we know and as far as we can. And when this bull run is done, we'll hopefully we'll be here to tell you guys, hey, pull out because it's about the house is falling, and it will, because that's how markets do. They're up and they're down. So, but yeah, Ben.
Yeah, the last thing I want to leave you guys off with is gold. Now, of course, if you are new to our channel, as we're progressing with our podcast, we're trying to get the whole little behind the scenes technical stuff in order. But in the first podcast, towards the end, I spoke about gold and when I think gold will be a buying opportunity. And so,
1684.
Yeah, right now I think gold is it's testing its June low of 1671. So right now it's at 1684. So I think since we broke out of the 1764 range that I was talking about, how gold isn't a buying opportunity until we see it fall below this 1764 handle. Of course, it broke through that, and it looks like it might go a little further down. But now we're testing our June handle. I personally think it's a buying opportunity for gold, the gold miners, gold mining stocks. Of course, if this continues to go lower with the 10-year yield going higher, then you could always buy lower. But nobody really knows when the Federal Reserve will do yield curve control or Operation Twist. Frankly, I don't care because I have enough conviction that gold mining stocks, silver mining stocks, uranium, all this stuff that we talk about are going to go much higher because of the inflation that we're experiencing and we're going to continue to experience. So I do recommend looking into some gold. Of course, you could not buy gold, but I think it's a good part in your portfolio that you could have a good position. Have a few ounces or whatever you could afford, or half an ounce or some silver. But yeah, it's getting to those levels now. If it gets any lower than this, we could see a drop all the way down to the March lows of last year when gold tanked down to 1466, which would be an amazing opportunity to buy even more. But I personally don't think it'll get this low. I think that we could see a consolidation at the 1684 level, but that's just my opinion. Or maybe 1650, right? But I think around 1680, 1650 and 1680, we're going to see that fluctuation. But I think it's a buying opportunity. And with the stimulus already being passed, it's only a matter of time for the Federal Reserve to either start doing yield curve control and or Operation Twist. Frankly, again, it doesn't matter to me. It's just a buying opportunity. Yeah. Can yields keep going higher? Yeah, possibly. But then that means something's going to break because the dollar's also getting stronger. And so we can have both going at the same rate, higher. But that's just my 2 cents on this. Stay tuned for the next episode.
Yeah, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and sorry
Rigo,
about the.
I'm glad Rigo, I'm glad you're back. Bro.
Right. I mean, me too, big dog.
You're healthy and you're doing good.
So we'll see you guys. When next?
Sometime this week.
Yeah. We don't know yet, but thank you guys for tuning in.
Peace.
You guys have a good one.